at Footprints, we try really hard to offer lots of different types of support. We've sort of developed that over the few years that we've been going. So we have befriending, which is one-to-one peer support. And for befriending, we use volunteers and we match up according to experience. So we have dad volunteers, we have triplet volunteers, we have people who've got surviving twins, people who've lost both twins. And yeah, we try and match up, and that will often be phone calls, texts, WhatsApp messaging. And it can be quite different. Sometimes it can be 1 or 2 calls. Sometimes it can be, you know, something over a year or even longer at times. And, you know, that works really well for lots of families, but it isn't for everybody. You know, lots of younger people nowadays aren't so confident with phone calls. So we've tried to sort of adapt that. So we've now got some WhatsApp groups, and we have sort of between about 10 and 15 people in WhatsApp groups. So we've got specific ones for surviving twin, pregnancy after loss, termination for medical reasons, and they're, you know, a space where they can get to know the group of people they're with. They can ask questions. We've got one about pregnancy after loss, so that one's really nice at the moment because they're all just having their babies, but they've been supporting each other right through the pregnancy. So there are WhatsApp groups. We have also a large Facebook group, which we're really careful about and we moderate really closely. And we've got about 350 families in there, and that can be, you know, it can be lots of people sharing and asking questions, but equally people can sit in that and be quite anonymous, and they don't have to, you know, they can just read what's being shared. And then something that came from COVID really was our online groups. So, you know, we can't be in person that often. We support people all over the country, and actually from all over the world we have people coming to us. But what we can do is get on a group together with, you know, maybe 8 to 10 people. Again, specific circumstances. So we have dads, we have termination for medical reasons and surviving twin. And yeah, you know, there'll often be tears, there'll sometimes be laughing, you know, sometimes people are in that really, really raw point where they've literally just lost their baby. We had a lady the other day that was 8 years on, and that was her first time ever coming to something like it, so it can be really different, can't it? But what we've learned along the way is that, you know, there's not one way that is right for everybody. And something I found really important or really helpful when I lost mine is I wasn't ready to pick up the phone. I wasn't ready to join Facebook groups or any of that, but I wanted to not feel lonely. I wanted to read other people's experiences. So on our website, we have quite a lot of people's personal experiences. So hopefully when you go on there, you'll be able to find somebody with something similar, which hopefully helps with feeling not so isolated.
Yeah, we've got lots of different resources and things on our website too that have actually kind of come from just the conversations we have with families. Like one example of that is some stickers that we have. We have about 13 different kind of variations, and they're very simple. A sticker that can go on medical records or on a baby's red book that just might say, I'm a surviving twin and my twin's name, you know, is such and such, or that they've died, or that a baby is a rainbow baby, or a baby that's born after those parents have maybe lost twins or triplets. We want healthcare professionals to know about what we do and to truly understand it, and to hear some of the sort of feedback we get from families about it, so that they feel more confident to signpost it, and that it's safe support as well, that it's well managed and well moderated peer support.
All of our leaflets and resources that we've written with our families, so we always go out to our families and ask, you know, when we wrote our what not to say, you know, it's all examples of what people had said to them, or, you know, when we're talking about family and friends support, you know, what was helpful for you from your family and friends, what was not helpful. So all through our leaflets we've got examples and quotes from our families, and I think, you know, hopefully that's really helpful. And we recently wrote a peer support, a peer position paper with Stephanie Ernst from TAPS. And I think, like Suzie said, we just, you know, we're really passionate. It's literally what held me up when my twins died, is, you know, speaking to somebody who had lost both their twins is what kept me going. And we just wanted to shout about that, so we've written a position paper and actually had loads of backing from other charities. And what we'd really like to do is, you know, see it be our model being rolled out into hospitals, and to make sure that everybody knows about us or knows about other types of peer support, so that parents are finding us early on and not, you know, finding us 3 years later or even 8 months later, you know, just finding us right from the beginning.
Yeah, we are finding that families are coming through to us, you know, really early on. Sometimes when they know one of their twins or triplets is going to die, but before that's actually happened. And I think what we are finding from sort of going on that journey with that family is that early intervention really makes a difference in the trauma associated with the experience of losing their child. And if we can have had some conversations and given them a little bit of like mental preparedness, a bit of preparation, that the difference that makes. And you know, that kind of experience, those experiences are always going to be extremely difficult, and grief is always going to come, but the impact of the grief, the trauma associated that's the bit that can be varied and can actually, we can make a difference there. So I think that's why it's important for healthcare professionals to know, and certain teams to know about peer support and about the difference it makes.